So hello, Flower City Noire. Thank you so much for joining the Greater Rochester Health Foundation for this Grantee Spotlight. We are so excited to talk to you guys today. The first question that we have is if you could just introduce yourselves, tell us about Flower City Noire, how it got started, and most importantly, why? What's the why behind this?
Sure. Hi, I'm Tonya Noel, co-founder FCNC.
And hi, I'm Kristen, the other co-founder of Flower City Noire Collective.
So I currently serve as the program director. Chris is the ED. We actually met at a Mike Brown protest back in 2014. We met literally on the other side of the street. I was like one of the organizers, and Chris was out in the street, and I knew her friend at the time, and I'm like, "Hey!" And then we've been cool ever since. Trying to change the world ever since. So from there, we started the Cause and Effects Garden on the corner of Flynn and Jefferson. And that's really where everything came together. Chris was already creating like community spaces and Black joy spaces in her space, and running a book club. And we kept hanging out, and it was like, you know what? We should put these things together.
Yeah.
I think, we just figured that our brains work better together. And since then, we've just been putting them together, and now we're here running FCNC.
I love that. And Chris, do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
Oh, surely. So again, the co-founder of Flower City Noire Collective, are really a part of the day-to-day operations here. And the book and literacy part of our work is really where I find my why, because it is in books and through books that I have found myself many, many times over and have really come to love and really, really enjoy reading. And so that's a little bit about me.
Wonderful.
Thank you, guys. Can you tell us what activities and programs are offered by your organization that help to uplift health and wellness within the community?
Sure. So I head up. I'll head up our bugs program. So that's Black urban growers, and so that program specifically is to reconnect Black and brown growers to the soil. We know that there's like ancestral harm and trauma that comes with like folks growing, so we want to address that. We want to address all of the disconnects that kind of keep us from growing our own food, really to encourage self-sufficiency and just a healthier lifestyle and just healthier living. We know that a lot of folks, specifically in the city of Rochester, folks that are in poverty, live in food apartheid, where there's just no spaces with healthy foods. Even where our office is located right now, it's like it's the tops across the street, but it's like if you live like 4 to 5 blocks down, it's a much longer walk than this is, and then even this store that doesn't necessarily have like everything that another store would have. So we try to address that with our program by putting up gardens, but also educating folks in the community on how to grow sustainable and healthy growing practices. Connecting folks with resources, not nationwide, and specifically in the the northeast area of the country. We're part of the Northeastern Farmers of Color, and things like that. And so I'm also a Soul Fire Farm alumni, and then I took the words aren't coming out. I'm sorry. The agriculture and food safety program at NCC. So I use those skills specifically to help and guide the bugs program. And so we're starting a new garden this year that we're super excited about. And then we're also again assisting other folks that have been growing and who are excited about growing and getting them growing and getting them to be successful in that. So that's the project that is most close to my heart, as is how we started this workout.
Our take on health and wellness is holistic in the work that we do here. And so in that, in addition to like healthy eating and those kind of things, we also prioritize healthy relationships within our community. And our mentoring program is really an example of that. We try to and have been successful at maintaining and creating healthy relationships that empower folks to continue living positive lifestyles overall. And that is a main way that we provide our programming, is really looking at folks holistically. and meeting them in those different kind of ways.
That's so wonderful. And I love that this work started with a garden and literally just is growing and growing. Can you estimate over the years how many lives has Flower City Noire touched? And just a rough estimate. And then how do you measure success? How do you know that something is working?
Because folks keep calling us. I think that's how we know it's working, and we just keep being presented with more opportunities to grow is one of the ways, but then also just our day-to-day impact, right? So the impact we have on the lives of the youth that we serve. So to see that all of them have graduated, none of them are like teen moms or anything like that, and that's a difference from a generation before them. Them being able to access employment and things like that immediately out of school. Specifically for our garden program, it was seeing that then other folks were growing, right, right in the same areas after our gardens were growing. And then like exact numbers, like specifically like in the pandemic, we were able to house about 5 to 10 people. Yeah, 5 to 10 people like throughout the
including
pandemic.
Women and children, teenagers. So a very intergenerational span of folks that we were serving throughout the pandemic, and currently we still are housing some folks right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you could give us a little bit more information about I think it's Noire House too, and the fellowship program that you guys offer.
Sure. So Noire House specifically was just like a transitional housing program. So just like folks that had an issue or whatnot, we wanted to provide a safe space for folks to be. But then with Noire House 2, we wanted to make it more of like a
fellowship and a cohort where folks will be working and living together while building skills and relationships that are beneficial for building real change in our city and maintaining that change. And so it really came together in such alignment for this health and wellness, because it's like homes and housing security is at the basis of a healthy life, right? And so we think of the folks that we want to serve and being young adults and college age folks, that sometimes housing insecurity takes them off the path of continuing on that. And so in this, we are currently getting together the framework for a fellowship like team to help us continue to build out that vision.
Because the goal is kind of to create like more of us, right? And so where our personal experiences intersect is like Chris is we would consider her academic, right? Because she has a background in African American studies,
in
English, and is it gender?
And gender and like
in gender and sexuality, and then I study gardening specifically in those things. So it's like, but I wasn't in school like full time. I was really doing like more community based things like on a regular basis. So it's like, how do those collide? And so our plan again with the fellowship is to like bring folks from the community and then also bring folks that are in school. And our Leaf Fellowship is going to be a big part of that, because again, we're in partnership with the U of R right now. So it's like looking at youth who could have potential of going to university or something like that. So again, being able to provide them with housing so that we again have more people to do the work. And so that's what it looks like in providing those people with a healthy living space so that they're actually able to do the work again holistically, because like all of your needs are met. There's a garden outside, there's housing here, there's a parking lot,
books.
Right. There's a healthy, we're working on the gym space in the basement, so literally having all of the needs met so that we can really show up and we can have folks that actually show up in the community and be those change agents and those change makers that we hope to see. Much like us, we were also featured in the Museum and Science Center's change maker exhibit last year. So, we just want to keep that going.
Keep it going.
And I think, I'm not sure, I thought we had a conversation before, but you guys are also serving first generational college students, if I'm not mistaken, with this fellowship. Can you lean into that a little bit more for us as well?
Yeah, definitely lean into that. So as a first gen college student, it was rough, right? Because you don't know all the ins and outs. You don't always have that support system, and that takes you off the path, right? And time is money, and you spend more time in school, more loans, whatever. And so in this program, we really want to think about a marginalized perspective of what it is to be a first gen student. Like, have you thought about the commuting costs to and from school? Have you thought about how to wash and dry your clothes to go to class? I mean, and some of these things have adjusted in our new world, but some of them are still very real. And so again, tutors is also a thing. Like, how do you write a college level paper? Who proofreads that paper in your house if you're the first one going through this process? So really thinking about the social wellness of these students that are first gen and taking on, you know, this amazing opportunity to better themselves and their families.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about this work. I'm so excited about meeting you guys, and just excited to be able to partner with you guys. I'm sorry, Tiana, taking over your interview.
You're fine.
Very much same.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, I just remember the energy that I felt from you guys. This we met now. It's been 2 years almost now.
We also met at a protest.
And at protest.
And see,
and every now and again, I hear Noel's chant, which is my favorite. Back up, we want freedom. I mean, every time, right? So it gives me chills right now, sharing that space with you guys and seeing how you guys worked in collaboration with other community leaders in this space was just so inspiring. And I was just like, you know what? I went out to eat with Kristen. And I was like, I got to find a way to partner with you guys. And then we were finally able to partner with you guys through the racial health equity work. And I'm just so excited that, you know, we get to partner. Again, I'm saying that word a lot, that we get to partner with you and that we get to help spread your message to the rest of the community. And so I'm just excited and I'm grateful for you guys.
So grateful.
We're grateful for you as well.
Thank you so much, Chiara. And the sun is shining on you, literally and figuratively. Chris and Noel, your phones are already ringing off the hook, and you have plenty of people to talk to. But if people that you're not connected to that you think could use your services, how do they reach you? What's the best way to reach out?
Well, our office hours are currently closed right now. We're not actually opening back up until the beginning of April because we are still again rebuilding our website and rebuilding all those things. We want to be able to really show up fully and safely. And so we had to again, because our office moved over to this space at 3 at West Avenue. This is where folks can meet us at. We will have open office hours on Wednesdays over at 383 West Avenue. You can check out our website at Flower City Noire Collective.org. And on there, you can check out each of our programs.
You can also find us on social media at Noire Collective on Facebook, Noire Reading Room on Facebook, and Instagram. Those are ways to stay up to date with our day-to-day and behind the scenes happenings over here. And if you want to send us a call or text, you can call or text us at 585-466-4733.
Well, we thank you guys so much for your time, Chris and Noel, co-creators of Flower City Noire. And thanks, Chiara, for being the co-host of this interview. Chiara Smith, our program officer for racial health equity at the Greater Rochester Health Foundation. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you. Peace.